It's only me and our next maths lesson on division. I thought I'd go through a couple of questions with you this morning, and then you can go off and try some for yourself in the Power Maths books. Sort of where we're moving to now is looking still at word problems, still to do with multiplication and division, but they're sort of multi-step problems, okay? So that means you just need to read the question carefully and recognise that you might just have to do more than one thing in order to get the answer, okay? So let's start with this one together. It says 23 apples in trays of 4. How many trays? How many apples left over? And again, I am going to move the apples so you can see them being put into groups of 4 in this case. So here we go. Another group of 4, 4 groups of 4, 5 groups of 4, and then we have 3 left over, okay? And if you were writing that as a calculation, you would say to yourself, 23 divided by 4 equals 5 remainder 3. The 23 is representing the total number of apples, the 4 is representing the number of apples in each tray, the 5 represents the number of full trays that can be made, and the 3 represents the number of apples left over. So the grocer can fill 5 full trays and he will have 3 left over, okay? So how many trays are there? There are 5 trays, and how many apples are left over? 3. And you would have to answer both parts of that question in order to get it right. So if I just show you another example, I'm just going to flick over here. And this says a bag containing 7 tiger marbles and 6 shooter marbles. How much do the marbles weigh in total? So you've got a bag of marbles and you've got 2 different types of marbles in that bag. Tiger marbles and shooter marbles. And the tiger marbles are those lovely orange ones that weigh 5 grams, and the shooter marbles are the blue ones that weigh 8 grams. And I've got a picture of a bar model up there because, as you know, I think bar models are really useful in answering calculations, so feel free to use them today. So how much do the marbles weigh in total? And the way I'm thinking in my head is, like I said, this is a 2-step problem. I'm going to have to do 2 kind of operations here. And first of all, I'm going to have to use my multiplication to work out how many marbles there are and how much they weigh, and then I'm going to have to add them together, okay? So if we take our tiger marbles first, and I'm just reminding myself of what the key information is, because we've got 7 tiger marbles, 6 shooter marbles, and how much do they weigh in total? And then I need to think, right, the tiger marble weighs 5 grams, the shooter marble weighs 8. So let's start with the tiger marbles. I've got 7 of them, so 7 times 5, and I know that now because I know my 5 times table, and that is 35. Okay, now I've got to look at my shooter marbles. So I've got 6 shooter marbles. Each of them weighs 8 grams. So I'm saying to myself, what is 6 times 8? And now I've been working so hard on my times tables, I can do that without thinking. But if I need to use a multiplication square to help me, or if I need to write down either my 6 or my 8 times table, I can. But I know that it's 6 times 8 is 48. But this is where there's an extra step, because I now need to add those 2 numbers together. 35 plus 48. So look, already I'm having to change my mathematical symbol. I've gone from multiplication to addition. So got to make sure I do every step carefully so I don't make a mistake. Okay. Now there's different ways of doing this. You can add this as the column addition, or you can add your tens first. So you could say to yourself, 30 plus 40 is 70. 8 plus 5 is 13. So that would make 83. And I'm just going to try and write that in the box. So the total weight of the marbles is 83 grams. So like I said, this is following on from the work that you did the other day. But what you might find is when you hit the Pound Maths books, if you've got time, is that it will be multi, that doesn't make sense. There will be multi-steps in the questions, so that you might be asked to do more than one thing. And if you need to use the bar model to help you, please do. Equally, if you find it easier to actually get some manipulatives, what I mean by manipulatives is, of course, equipment. So I know some of you are using marbles. I'm just trying to think of what else you might have around your house. You might have Lego pieces, or you might have pasta, something else, so you can actually kind of make the question. And then you can, of course, when you make it, sometimes it makes it easier to actually work out. So when you turn to your Power Maths books today, if you do, again, it's 3B, turn to page 42, 43 and 44. And if any of you are sort of going through this work quite quickly, then feel free to do 45, 46 and 47 as well. It's entirely up to you. But all we're trying to do now is we're just trying to sort of apply our knowledge of multiplication and division to some word problems. Good luck, Willow class, and let me know how you get on. Take care.